Hello, you four. The next story in our Beowulf series is called Beowulf and the Sea Hag. As the night shadows fell over Heorot, Hrothgar and his queen escorted Beowulf and all the Geatish heroes to their beds, leaving the great mead hall in the care of the thanes of Denmark. They cleared away the benches and spread the floor with beds and bolsters and, as so often they had done before, made a dormitory of the great hall. Out of habit, these warriors kept their weapons near to hand, always ready for war, their shields and hand-swords at their sides, and on the benches nearby their mail-coats, their mighty helmets and spears. But not one of them has expected any attack that night. Safe in their hall, so they thought, they fell asleep at once and slept soundly. It was a sleep they would pay for dearly and soon. For Grendel had a mother, a murderous hag, as hideous a monster as a fiend of a son. Now she was a bereaved mother, out for revenge, maddened by her loss, and she would be savage in her grief. With vengeance brimming in her soul, she came to Heorot in the dead of that night, all the Danish lords fast asleep inside, each lost in his dreams. How quickly were these dreams turned into a sudden nightmare. She may not have had the monster's strength of a son, but she was thirsting for blood as she came in amongst them, and powerful in her fury. The thanes quickly roused themselves from their slumbers, sprang at once to arms to fight her off, but they were not quick enough. She tore down Grendel's arm, that hideous trophy, but so precious to her. She snatched up the sleeping Aschir, Hrothgar's most favourite lord, and then, seeing so many swords raised against her, made her escape. She had to be satisfied with this one kill. It was revenge enough for her. Away over the high moor she went in the darkness, clutching in a fierce embrace the bleeding Aschir, found her way back to her distant fen to gorge herself on his flesh. How sweet was the taste of vengeance to this horrible hag. Meanwhile all Heorot was in uproar. Swiftly summoned to the hall, Hrothgar heard the terrible news that Aschir was dead and gone, his beloved friend, murdered. He called at once for Beowulf. Who else would he turn to? Aschir could not be saved, not now. Not even Beowulf. That victory Geat could do that. But if anyone could destroy this demon mother, it was him. The wise old king, distraught with sadness, opened his word hoard and spoke his heart to the Geatish prince. Aschir was my half-companion, my best and oldest friend. Side by side we stood in many a bloody battle, striking for our lives for each other. And now he's dead, no more than a meal feast for Grendel's bloodthirsting mother. Last night for us, you killed her son, tore the life out of him, and now she has her grim revenge. I do not know and cannot tell where she is gone to, but country people have often told stories of two such ogres haunting the high moors and mists. One of them, it was said, was more woman in shape than man. A twisted monster woman, they said, a giant of creature, demonic and unnatural. The other they called Grendel, that fiend from hell you so bravely destroyed. We thought at first that these were mere imaginings, stories told by simple people with simple minds. How wrong we were, and how bitterly we have paid for it. They never spoke of a father to this monster, though all of them said it must be the very devil himself. But time and again they saw a mother looming out of the moor mists. None of them ever dared venture to this hidden place where the monster and his mother lived, for it is known to be a place of wolves, of wild moors, dark fells, and perilous paths. Somewhere there, they said, a torrent of water plunges into the deep earth to make an underground channel that passes through vaulting caverns. Here these ogres have their loathsome lair. It's no distance from here, but no man of sense has ever ventured near the place. Even a wounded stag, hard pressed by baying hounds hot on his scent, would rather face the hounds' tearing teeth than plunge into that bottomless stream. Sometimes I have heard that these waters stir themselves into such a rage that they swirl up into the clouds, and the whole earth weeps in terror. I have no one else to turn to. If you dare, as you dared before, then find this hideous sea hag, seek her out in her unlovely lair, and destroy her. I shall reward you as I did before, with golden treasures from my hoard. My generosity will be even greater this time. I assure you. Then Beowulf, Ecgtheow's noble son, replied, "For a fighting man like me, daring is everything. How else would a fighting man be remembered if he does not dare? I cannot banish your grief, great king, but I can and will avenge your loss. Of that you can be sure. I shall quickly find where this hag of hell has gone to, and I promise there will be nowhere she can hide, no fold in the field, no ditch, forest, or craggy cleft, no watery haven, nowhere. However deep she dives, I shall find her, and when I do, your revenge and mine will be swift and sure." So they rode out after her together, Danish king and Geatish hero, their lords, and thanes beside them, their bearers marching alongside. It was not difficult to see which way she had gone. Along woodland paths, over the high moors, foul with fog, they traced her bloody steps, following where she had gone before dragging her bloody victim. The trail narrowed between the cliffs, and the path here was tortuous and treacherous. Up over the scree they went, then and down into the fens, a haunted, dreadful place where no one could ever live, nor ever would wish to live. Sensing danger all about them now, Beowulf and his warriors went ahead to scout the land. They came then to a cheerless cluster of ash trees by a rushing stream that tumbled beneath a rocky crag, and beyond that they found a dark, deep lake stained with blood, and all knew at once whose blood it was. Worse evidence was to come, for they saw left there on the edge of the cliff the most grievous sight, Ashir's head. Stirred to new fury, they let out an eager battle cry, sounded the war horn loud and long so the whole world could hear their anger. Roused and enraged by the challenge of the battle horn, a giant sea serpent slithered to the surface. They saw now that the lake was teeming with them, and with countless strangely withering water snakes too. This place was truly a home of monsters. Beowulf at once let loose an arrow, the iron tip striking home to its mark deep into the sea serpent's throat. Other spears then rained down until the body of this wave lurker was dragged lifeless to the shore. Grisly, grim, and gruesome, no one word could describe this ghoul of the deep. Everyone there was happy to see was dead, I can tell you, but others were there, skulking shadows of the deep, waiting for Beowulf, waiting for their moment to strike. Beowulf had now made himself ready for the fight that lay ahead of him, putting on first his heavily mailed shirt, so strong that no enemy could pierce it. On his head he set a splendid silver helmet that would protect him and ward off the worst of the blows. Wonderfully crafted it was, adorned with gold, richly carved all around with wild boars at bay. No sword's wife had ever breached its stern defence. On Firth, Hrothgar's herald and counsellor then handed him a hilted sword. Hrunting he called it, a sword unlike any other, ancient, tried and tested, wave-patterned, iron-edged. The sword had never failed any hero before. Beowulf clutched it keenly, eager now to face the foe. But first he spoke to silver-haired Hrothgar close beside him. "The time has come, great king, to test again my courage and my strength. Remember, wise lord, all that we agreed before the fight with Grendel, that I should die in your service. You will be like a father to me when I am gone, protecting my earth companions, and sending what gifts you have granted me, kind Hrothgar, for my lord, for his safekeeping. Being his servant, you will understand that all I have is his. It will show him how generous you have been, how you have kept your word, and he will love you for it. And let Unferth have back Hrunting, the blade he just gave me. It should rightly be his again. With Hrunting I shall kill the ogress, or die in the attempt. Let God choose between us." With these words, Beowulf, then that daring prince, dived into the lake and disappeared. So deep was the perilous pool that it seemed to take forever before he saw the bottom, and felt it with his feet. And there, that blood-greedy hag of the deep was waiting for him, ready in ambush. She sprang on him, fastening at once with her hellish hooks. But although he was caught, Beowulf was so far unharmed, for his clenched claws could not pierce the mail shirt and draw blood. Until next time.